Okay, I don't really know how to position this so that you see both the PowerPoint and me, so I'm just gonna present to you and have the PowerPoint here, and then in class the PowerPoint will be back there. Okay, this is a little weird. Okay, so my topic is Evangelium Vitae. More specifically the death penalty, but I kind of focus on life in general and how it's important. So my thesis is God has granted life to each person on earth and should be treated with the utmost respect and love no matter the circumstances. So church teaching, I'm going to kind of break this down into 5 lessons that I learned by reading the encyclical. Life is a precious gift from God from beginning to natural end. This is a fundamental truth within each person, meaning that we deserve to be here on this earth. Like, each baby in the mother's womb deserves a chance to be born. Each like old person who's like sick and you think that you should end their life, they deserve to be here even if their life isn't really giving anything to society, because they are giving stuff to, they're giving their knowledge, their presence, even if they're not giving something valuable, quote unquote, to our society. So going along with that, do not ask the question, is their presence efficient? Which is the question that just our society always asks. Like if a baby is going to be born and is going to have a detrimental illness or is going to be handicapped, what efficiency, what can this baby really give to society? We should not ask this question, because we should accept this baby into our lives and love this baby no matter what happens to it. Like, if it's going to die immediately after birth, if it's going to live a long, hard life, we should still embrace this life and give it more love. So each person has something to give just by being there in the society, by who they touch and the lives that they enrich by just being who they are. This is contrary to modern thinking, like I was saying, with the question of, is this person's life efficient? Is this person's life worth living, I guess, is the question that they're asking. And with the death penalty argument, like, is this person's in the prison efficient to society? Like, it would be more efficient to just kill them, but you're taking away their chance to redeem themselves. You're taking away their chance to create a better life for themselves. You're taking away their chance to find God again. And so that's why you should never ask if their presence is efficient. You should ask, like, you shouldn't even ask, like, they're a human person, they're a human life, that they deserve to be here. This ideology helps create a war of the powerful against the weak. The strong choose what goes, and the weak just kind of have to assume it. Like, an unborn baby would be considered the weak and the mother the strong. The strong gets to decide what happens, and that's just, we should never have that in our world. All life must be respected no matter the condition. Like I was saying with handicap, because these two kind of go hand in hand. Handicap, special needs, sickened, old, criminals. All life should be respected no matter what stage they're in. If means to hold an offender away from society are possible, then we should spare that criminal his or her life. We should give them a chance to repent. We should end the cycle of hate, because ultimately, if we're trying to decide the death penalty, it's often pushed for by people wanting revenge. And we end this cycle with love by allowing them to live and showing them mercy and hopefully giving them a chance to do better. Babies with known handicaps deserve and need our love. They don't, a lot of the times they're coming out with less nourishment because they think they're gonna die and they don't deserve it. We need to give them more love, not withhold it. So this third one is more about culture. This goes along with a lot of different things. Accepting this culture climate that accepts these attacks on life has serious consequences. It affects the way we form relationships. We see everything as temporary and not meaningful, when really we should form relationships wanting them to last a long time, wanting them to have meaning, not to be something you just throw away. And with the more intimate relationships, we should be open to this new life. We should want our kids to succeed and to live with, I mean, that seems like such a simple thing, but we want them to live. This makes it more difficult to distinguish good from evil, because the culture all around us accepts this as fact that, oh, I mean, we can abort this baby, it's no problem. It makes it harder for the everyday citizen to know that this is wrong when everywhere around them is accepting it as truth. I'm already at 6 minutes. Crap. I mean, I was gonna keep talking and then hopefully the next one will cut it down a bit. Yeah, it creates it more difficult to distinguish good from evil when everything around you is saying that it's alright. Like, I know that it's wrong because I've grown up in a Catholic school my whole life, and this has been drilled into me that it is not okay. And it has been hard for me on some of these topics to know, even with the school, to know what was right and what was wrong because of everything around me saying that no, it's okay, it's alright, like, so obviously when the culture is corrupted, it makes it harder to distinguish for yourself. The individualistic society, only focusing on yourself, you begin to question and doubt fundamental rights. By doing this, you disregard fact to help you reach your wants. A person who thinks they can live fully with material goods is lying to themselves. That's kind of not where I want to be. By helping you reach your wants, by focusing on just yourself, your needs, your wants, it makes it easier to say, no, I can't have this baby right now because it doesn't work with my schedule, my life, but you're not taking into account the baby's life, the father's life, and how he would want this baby, how this baby would want to live, you know? And it just corrupts the society. Like I want my revenge, so I need this criminal to die. And I mean, that's not gonna help you. In the end, when the criminal has been killed, you're still gonna feel empty because you haven't resolved this within your, because you've gotten so caught up in what you want and you haven't even thought of their family. And the person that they hurt. I'm gonna have to cut this down so much. Okay. Abortion and euthanasia are seen as freedom in our culture. It's their body, so it's their choice if they want to kill themselves or not, if they want to kill their baby or not. That is the true freedom. It's your choice. When really the mass media makes pro-life seem like the enemy. And it's this whole culture of death that makes everything like what is efficient, what is necessary. It makes it seem like this is where you need to believe in order to be free, when in reality, we're not free to choose what other freedoms we take away. By aborting, we take away that baby's freedom. By using euthanasia, you take away, like, all that their life could still be. You take away all the lives they can still touch. You take away so much. And the freedom of, like, oh, I'm finally free of this oppressor because we've killed him. He's still gonna, if you were injured or hurt by someone else in, like, a serious manner, like, they need to go to jail and they can stay there, and you feel like you're not free because they're still living, that's something, even when they're dead, they're still going to be affecting you forever. And I will touch on this a little bit more, but with God and knowing that with him you are free, not within yourself, it'll help you want them to have another chance, and ultimately help you in the long run, because you don't fix an evil with another evil. You've helped an evil with a good. Number 4 is life is a precious gift from God, from beginning to natural end. I already said that. No, that's not number 4. Church teaching continued. Suffering is not the epitome of evil. Society views suffering as bad and like the worst thing ever, and we should search for this life of ease and just breeze through it without having to struggle at all for anything in our life. In reality, it is a way to make ourselves better. It's a way to grow closer to God, is by suffering, and to really take in your wins and your losses, and to really just hold on to what you've gained, and to, I mean, an athlete, if you go out and you have your coach there and he's making you do these sprints for what seems like forever, and you feel like it hurts as you're doing them, but you have to keep going because you're doing it for your team, you're doing it for yourself, and you're doing it for your coach. And at the end of it, you might feel like crap, but you know what? You've gotten better. You've gotten closer to your goal. You know more, you've learned more, you've taken a step closer. You know that that hurt will eventually help you out in the long run. And people on death row, personal opinion, you kill them, their suffering is done. They'll go meet God. I guess, I mean, if they go to hell, their suffering is definitely not done, but that's for God to decide. But we don't get to decide when their judgment day is. They should stay here on earth and suffer through the prison, suffer knowing what they've done, and have a change, and help try to make themselves better. Like, obviously they shouldn't just roam free in the outside world. They should be put in jail, because our modern societies can do that, can have them put there. I feel like that's justice. 5th thing, when God becomes absent within our lives, mankind becomes unintelligent. When we deny God as the creator of life, it puts us as the deciders of life, and that's not our role on this earth. We're here to love one another and to grow closer to God, and by assuming this role of the deciders of who lives and who dies, we're taking God's place. And In that is God's job. That's what God he does started. It's just not one of our rights. If that makes sense. I have to do this whole thing over again. We have no real restrictions without God and no direction. So what I'm trying to say is, if we're in a maze, like with God there, he's trying to help us get to the end. But without God, we're lost. And we're just going in circles, like in the woods. Just no way to find a way out, without him. And God is always there trying to reach his hand out to help us. But when we turn our head away from God, we do that to ourselves. We confuse ourselves. We think we've got this. Like, we can do this without him. And that's when we get ourselves in trouble. Major controversies, I've kind of touched on this before, but individual, society, abortion is my body, death sentence, my revenge, euthanasia, my suffering must end. It's all selfish reasons, and we're on each of them we're denying who the person is as an individual. In our culture of death, it's become controversial to say that life is precious, which seems crazy that you can be attacked for saying something like that. That abortion is murder. You're killing a baby. So, more specifically on the death penalty, if we are able to contain an offender away from society, we may not use death penalty. We can't use it because it's just, why kill someone when we can contain them? Like, I understand in societies where that's not possible, they will escape. If we should do everything in our power to save that person's life. This allows an offender to have a chance to redeem themselves and to find God, have a chance at salvation, to look at what they've done, to feel their guilt here on earth, knowing this is, maybe they messed up one time, maybe this, maybe that, maybe they really do want to change and get better, and if we just kill them, that chance is gone. And that's for God to judge after that. But we should not be the ones judging it. It only extends the cycle of hate. It degrades the personhood, especially when we had things like the electric chair and hangings. And just these morbid ways of killing people. I mean, yeah, like they're a person there. We're just torturing them. I need to take a shower. I probably shouldn't show this to anyone anymore, damn it. Again, man assumes the role of creator. Diocesan curriculum, the need of capital punishment is modern societies are very rare or non-existent. It's really just, in today's day and age, it's really just not necessary anymore. Those are my sources. There's a ton more.